Sarah Benson had always believed that competence was currency. For 7 years at Morrison & Blake, the mid-sized consulting firm in downtown Chicago, she'd kept her head down, delivered exceptional work, and trusted that merit would speak for itself. She avoided the gossip clusters by the coffee machine, declined invitations to after-work drinks that felt more strategic than social, and focused on being so good they couldn't ignore her. Then Monica Sterling noticed her. Monica was everything Sarah aspired to become. A senior vice president at 42, commanding every room she entered with effortless authority. When Monica approached Sarah after a particularly successful client presentation, offering to mentor her, Sarah felt something shift. Finally, someone who valued substance over performance, who saw potential rather than demanding political maneuvering. "You remind me of myself at your age," Monica had said, her smile warm and genuine. "Too talented to stay in the shadows. Let me help you navigate this place." For 18 months, their relationship became the anchor of Sarah's professional life. Monica taught her which battles to fight, how to position her ideas, when to speak up in meetings. She shared confidences about her own climb up the corporate ladder, the sacrifices she'd made, the loneliness of leadership. Sarah had finally found what she'd been missing, not just a mentor, but an ally who understood her. She never saw the knife coming. The email arrived on a Tuesday morning marked urgent. Monica wanted to see her immediately. Sarah grabbed her notebook and headed to the executive floor, that familiar flutter of anticipation in her chest. These impromptu meetings had become their rhythm. Monica would pull her in to strategize, to discuss Sarah's career trajectory, to share insights about the partner's thinking. Monica's corner office overlooked Lake Michigan, all glass and carefully curated minimalism. She was standing by the window when Sarah entered, her posture somehow both relaxed and poised. "Close the door," Monica said without turning around. Sarah complied, settling into the leather chair across from Monica's desk. "Everything okay?" Monica finally turned, and her expression was unreadable. "I'm working on something. A new initiative that could reshape how this firm operates. Revolutionary, really. But it requires complete discretion." She moved to her desk, pulling out a thick folder. "I need someone I can trust absolutely. Someone brilliant enough to understand the complexity, but junior enough not to have competing loyalties." Her eyes locked onto Sarah's. "I need you." The folder contained preliminary research, financial projections, strategic frameworks, all Monica's work, all stunning in its ambition. She was proposing a complete restructuring of the firm's service delivery model, something that could save millions while improving client outcomes. "This is incredible," Sarah breathed, flipping through pages. "Have you presented this to the partners?" "Not yet. I need it bulletproof first." Monica leaned forward. "I need your analytical mind on this, Sarah. Work with me on this, quietly, and when we present it together. Equal credit. Your name alongside mine." Equal credit with a senior VP. Sarah's heart raced. This was the opportunity that could change everything. The recognition she'd earned through years of excellence. Monica was offering her a seat at the table. "I'm in," Sarah said. "Whatever you need." Monica's smile was beautiful and terrible. "I knew I could count on you." Sarah threw herself into the project with ferocious dedication. She arrived at the office by 6:30 each morning, leaving long after the cleaning crew made their rounds. The work consumed her: financial modeling, competitive analysis, risk assessment frameworks. Monica had given her access to confidential files, proprietary data, strategic documents that few outside the partner level ever saw. They met almost daily, usually early mornings or late evenings when the floor was empty. Monica would review Sarah's work with exacting precision, pushing her to dig deeper, think broader, anticipate every possible objection. The mentorship intensified, became more intimate. Monica shared stories about her divorce, the sexism she'd fought against, the male partners who'd tried to diminish her. "They think we're weak," Monica said one evening, pouring them both whiskey from the bottle she kept in her desk. "They think we'll tear each other apart, compete instead of collaborate. We prove them wrong by being smarter, more prepared, unshakable." Sarah felt the bond between them solidify into something profound. This wasn't just professional anymore, it was personal. They were building something together, two women refusing to play by rules designed to keep them in their place. Her other work suffered inevitably. She missed deadlines on smaller projects, delegated more than usual, declined social invitations entirely. Her colleague Jennifer cornered her one afternoon. "You okay? You seem stretched thin." "I'm fine," Sarah said quickly. "Just busy." "With what? You're barely on any client teams right now." Sarah felt defensive, protective of the secret she carried. "Special project. Can't really talk about it." Jennifer's expression shifted, something between concern and suspicion. "Be careful, Sarah. This place can be treacherous." But Sarah dismissed the warning. Jennifer didn't understand. She was still playing the political game Sarah had transcended through Monica's mentorship. The first hint of trouble came 3 months into the project. Sarah was compiling the final presentation deck when she noticed something odd. A citation to an external consultant's report she didn't recognize. She pulled the file, started reading, and felt her stomach drop. Whole sections of their analysis had been lifted nearly verbatim from a report commissioned 18 months earlier. A report Sarah had never seen, created by a consultant named David Huang who'd been brought in to evaluate operational efficiency. She stared at her screen, trying to rationalize it. Maybe Monica had forgotten to mention the earlier work. Maybe she'd intended to credit it and simply hadn't gotten there yet. Maybe this was just preliminary research, not actual plagiarism. She should have confronted Monica immediately. Instead, she told herself she'd bring it up at their next meeting, find a diplomatic way to address it. That meeting never came. Monica canceled 3 times in a row. Client emergencies, partner meetings, unexpected conflicts. When they finally connected, it was brief, rushed, Monica standing the entire time. "How's the deck coming?" Monica asked. "Almost done. But Monica, I noticed some of the analysis overlaps with work from Sarah." Monica's voice was sharp. "I don't have time for details right now. The partners want to see something preliminary next week. I need that deck perfect." "Next week? I thought we had another month." "Plans changed. Can you handle it or not?" The question felt like a test. Sarah swallowed her concerns. "I can handle it." "Good. And Sarah?" Monica's expression softened slightly. "This is going to be amazing. Your career is about to explode." After Monica left, Sarah sat in the empty conference room, that uneasy feeling growing. She opened her laptop, started digging into David Huang's background. He'd worked at Morrison and Blake for 6 months, left abruptly. No forwarding information, no LinkedIn updates after his departure. She told herself she was being paranoid. The partners' conference room was all dark wood and intimidation. Sarah had been in countless meetings there, but never like this. Never presenting directly to the 5 partners who controlled the firm's destiny. Monica stood at the head of the table, commanding and confident, while Sarah operated the slides from a discreet position slightly behind her. "Gentlemen," Monica began, and Sarah noticed she didn't correct the gendered greeting despite there being no women partners. "I've identified an opportunity for transformational change." For 45 minutes, Monica walked them through the analysis. Their analysis, Sarah reminded herself, though Monica's presentation style made it feel singular. She was brilliant, fielding questions with precision, building consensus expertly. The partners leaned forward, engaged in a way Sarah had rarely witnessed. Then James Morrison, the founding partner, asked, "This is impressive work, Monica. How long have you been developing this?" Monica didn't hesitate. "About 18 months. Since I first identified the inefficiencies in our current model." Sarah's breath caught. 18 months? They'd only been working together for 3. And the financial modeling? Another partner pressed. "This is sophisticated analysis." "I've always been good with numbers," Monica said smoothly. She glanced back at Sarah for the first time. "Though Sarah here helped me polish the presentation deck. She's excellent with PowerPoint." PowerPoint. 3 months of grueling work, condensed into formatting assistance. Sarah felt the room tilt. She should speak up, correct the record, claim her contribution. But the partners were already moving on, discussing implementation timelines, and Monica was smiling that confident smile, and Sarah's voice stuck in her throat. After the meeting, Monica caught Sarah's elbow in the hallway. "That went perfectly. Thank you for your support." "Support?" Sarah's voice came out strangled. "Monica, I did half that work. More than half." Monica's expression cooled. "You did excellent support work, Sarah. And you'll be compensated for it. But that strategy? That vision? That came from years of experience you don't have yet. Don't confuse execution with creation." She walked away, leaving Sarah standing in the hallway, trembling with a fury she couldn't yet articulate. Sarah couldn't sleep that night. She lay in her apartment, staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation with Monica, the way she'd framed the project, the emphasis on discretion, the late nights when no one else was around to witness their collaboration. At 3 a.m., she gave up and opened her laptop. If Monica had lied about the timeline, what else was false? She started with David Huang. It took hours of searching, but she finally found him, working at a competitor firm in New York. She drafted an email, careful and professional, asking if he'd be willing to discuss his work at Morrison and Blake. His response came within an hour. "I'd be happy to talk. But be careful. Monica Sterling is brilliant at making other people's work disappear." They spoke by phone the next morning. David's story made Sarah physically ill. He'd been hired as a consultant specifically to develop operational efficiency recommendations. Spent 6 months creating a comprehensive restructuring proposal, the exact same proposal Monica had just presented. When he'd submitted it, Monica had been assigned to review it. She buried it, David said. Told the partners my methodology was flawed, my conclusions unsupported. I fought back, tried to defend the work. She had more credibility, more political capital. They sided with her, and suddenly my contract wasn't renewed. Why would she kill a good proposal just to steal it later? Timing. The firm wasn't ready then. She knew if she waited, positioned it right, it would work. And by then, I'd be gone. No one to contradict her authorship. Sarah felt sick. Did you ever get credit? Did anyone? No. And if you're calling me, I'm guessing you're about to experience the same thing. After they hung up, Sarah sat with her head in her hands. She thought about those intimate evenings with Monica, the confidences shared, the bond she'd believed was real. All of it strategic. All of it manipulation. She'd been so careful to avoid office politics, and she'd walked straight into the most vicious game of all. Sarah waited until evening, when most of the office had emptied. She walked to Monica's office without knocking, closing the door firmly behind her. Monica looked up from her computer, irritation flashing across her face. Sarah, I'm Buse. I spoke with David Huang. The air in the room changed instantly. Monica's expression went perfectly blank, a mask sliding into place. I don't know who that is. The consultant whose work you stole. The proposal you buried so you could resurrect it later as your own. Sarah's voice shook, but she pushed forward. The exact same thing you just did to me. Monica stood slowly, and Sarah saw something predatory in her movements. Be very careful about accusations you can't prove. I can prove it. I have David's original report. I have my files showing when I created our analysis. I have emails. Emails you sent to me about my project, work you did at my direction, on my initiative. Monica's voice was ice. Here's what you don't seem to understand, Sarah. In this firm, in this world, credit goes to whoever has the credibility to claim it. You're an analyst. A good one, I'll grant you, but an analyst. I'm a senior vice president with 7 years of equity partnership on the line. Who do you think they'll believe? Sarah felt tears threatening and hated herself for it. You used me. You lied to me. I gave you an opportunity to contribute to something important. To learn from someone successful. Monica moved closer, her voice dropping to something almost gentle. You should be grateful, Sarah. Do you know how many young women would kill for the mentorship I've provided? The access I've given you? Mentorship. Sarah's laugh was bitter. You exploited me. I taught you how the game is played. Monica's smile was cruel. You wanted to avoid office politics? To focus on merit? That was always a fantasy. The only currency that matters is power, and you gave yours away the moment you trusted me. The partners will know the truth. The partners will know what I tell them. And if you try to fight me on this, I'll destroy you. Not just your reputation, your career, your references, everything. You'll never work in consulting again. Monica tilted her head. Or you can take your bonus, accept that you learned a valuable lesson and move on. Your choice. Sarah stood there, understanding with crystalline clarity that Monica meant every word. Sarah took a week of personal leave, sitting in her apartment, trying to process the devastation. She'd built her entire professional identity around competence, integrity, straightforward excellence. Monica had weaponized all of it against her. Jennifer came by with coffee and pastries, sitting silently while Sarah finally broke down and told her everything. "I should have warned you more directly," Jennifer said quietly. "But I didn't know it was this bad. Monica has a history. There have been whispers for years, but she's too powerful. People are afraid." "What do I do?" "You have options. Go to HR. Go to the partners directly. Get a lawyer." Jennifer paused. "But Sarah, you need to understand what you're up against. This isn't just about one person. It's about a system that rewards people like Monica. Even if you prove everything, they might protect her anyway. She makes them too much money." Sarah spent days weighing her choices. She could fight, compile evidence, force a confrontation, demand justice. But she thought about Monica's threats, about her own exhaustion, about the cost of a battle she might not win. In the end, she did something she never expected. She accepted the bonus Monica offered, substantial enough to sting with its insulting generosity. She updated her resume. She started networking, reaching out to competitors who'd tried to recruit her before. 3 months later, she gave her notice. Monica didn't even pretend to be surprised. "I hope you learned something," Monica said during their final conversation. Sarah looked at the woman she'd once admired, seeing her clearly for the first time. "I learned that some people will burn every bridge if it means they get to keep the matches. I learned that betrayal is easier when you convince yourself you're teaching a lesson. And I learned that the real game isn't about winning. It's about deciding what kind of person you want to be when you play." She walked out of Monica's office, out of Morrison and Blake, into cold Chicago wind that felt like freedom. The proposal Monica had presented was implemented 6 months later. The firm saved $14 million in the first year. Monica made partner. Her name was on every document, every presentation, every celebration. Sarah built something different. A career at a smaller firm that valued collaboration over competition. A reputation for integrity that followed her. She never mentored anyone the way Monica had mentored her. When younger analysts sought her guidance, she was transparent about credit, generous with opportunities, careful with trust. But sometimes, late at night, she still dreamed about that moment in Monica's office. The moment she understood that the person she'd trusted most had been studying her weaknesses all along, waiting for the perfect time to strike. The psychology of betrayal was simple, she'd learned. It required proximity, patience, and the willingness to see another person's vulnerability as opportunity. Monica had been a master at all three, and Sarah would spend years unlearning the lessons that expertise had taught her. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Beyond the Scripted.